Okay, I'm gonna try to get a hold on this. So, my last short video, I I mentioned a few things, and I mentioned the quote by Charlie Kirk that says if he had a black pilot on a plane, he'd be worried if it was, um, he'd be worried it was if the person was qualified for the job, which is ridiculous. Of course, they're going to be qualified for the job. And so people said I took it out of context. Well, even in the context with DEI and this and that and racial quotas, he's still wrong. Second of all, he doesn't know the difference between DEIA, not just DEI, which the A is accessibility, like with people with disabilities. He doesn't know the difference between that and affirmative action. He's got it backwards. Affirmative action is the hiring service where it makes sure that minorities are hired, and it's done because if they didn't, when they created it, they would not hire minorities because they were racist. And okay, so even in the context that he's putting it in, he it's still racist, and he's assuming that even if they like if they do the quotas, he's assuming that minorities are not qualified. And also, when he's talking about minorities, he keeps saying that they'd all be black. No, we got a lot of minorities in this um, country, so only a smaller percentage of it would be black people. And the fact that he's automatically going to black people and that he's always going to black people proves that he's racist. And we know for a fact, because and I pretty much like Wikipedia can be trusted, and Wikipedia says that Charlie Kirk subscribes to the Great Replacement theory, which is very similar to the white genocide theory, which are both racist theories. And the whole theory, but okay, so going back to this, he keeps making this point in this intelligent black man. He's saying you're assuming because they're black that they're not qualified. He'll say, well, underqualified. And then he goes into college admissions, and then he calls that's what he calls affirmative action, but that's not affirmative action. That would be under DEIA. So there's nothing that even in the context of what he's saying, and yes, he often cites stats, but if you actually go in and you actually look at those and you actually fact check, he's wrong. And the fact that it always comes down to black people shows that he's a racist asshole. So stop telling me that I'm taking him out of context because okay, things like this, it doesn't do any better. He's still